Picture this, you're someone considered to be a risk to yourself and your family, your reputation being so bad that it greatly demeans you and you can barely stay a few moments away from drugs. And even when you sought out help through therapy, you heard things like, "Look, your life is out of control and you have no control over it." These words will be a constant reminder to you for the rest of your life, wondering how you'll ever make it through. You wonder if you'll ever become successful or celebrate another birthday. The voices in your head are constantly bashing you. You've got to trust in yourself to get out of it. Well, this was the hand Grant Cardone was dealt early in life before he turned it all around and built a $750 million empire. He'd found a way to beat the addiction and channel that energy into something more productive that would make him a multimillionaire. That's right. In today's video, we're gonna uncover Grant Cardone's incredible journey from a drug addict to the $750 million empire that he has built for himself. Are you a tale of rags to riches? Tell us your story about how you managed to do so and what motivated you. It's these stories that inspire us, so let us know in the comments section below. Now, without further delay, let's look at this incredible story. Meet the man, Grant Cardone. We firmly believe that success leaves behind hints, the trails to becoming successful that can be followed on your own journey to stardom. For this reason, we feature highly successful people like Grant Cardone, and hope from it that you can learn a thing or two from their stories. Grant is a great icon with an inspiring rags to riches tale and lessons that may help us all to learn, grow, and profit in tremendous ways. So, who exactly is Grant? Well, for starters, today he is a well-known international businessman, sales specialist, real estate tycoon, motivational speaker, and owner of the $5 billion investment company, Cardone Capital. The annual income from all his ventures, you ask? Get ready, upwards of $100 million annually. Holy! He's authored bestsellers such as 10X Rule, Sell or Be Sold, and the Axiom award-winning If You're Not First, You're Last. In addition, he is the creator of Cardone University, a famous sales training website that has amassed over 50 million subscribers to date and is expanding rapidly. Consequently, Grant Cardone has amassed a $5 billion multifamily portfolio of assets through his sheer grit and determination. He has raised more than $500 million on social media, making him the highest crowdfunder in the world. In addition, Forbes magazine named him the top marketer to watch in 2017. Through the Grant Cardone Foundation, a nonprofit devoted to teaching financially illiterate and at-risk youngsters, Grant utilizes his enormous 15 million plus fan base to give back. Why? Because he's been in the shitter himself. His early life. Grant Cardone was born and raised in the small town of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Born in 1958, he is the youngest of 5 children. When he and his twin brother were 10 years old, their father passed away, leaving his mother to cater and fend for the family by herself while having no formal training or employment history. It was almost destined and highly probable from there that Grant would be left with very little chance of success as he grew older. He was fortunate, though, that his mother managed to make several things work regardless, but it still goes without saying that Cardone grew up in a less than perfect home and in poverty. This fact, and his quest to cope with the loss of having any father figure growing up, coupled with his elder brother pushing him onto a self-destructive path, Grant would spiral out of control. Between the age of 15 and 25, Cardone fell into terrible company, acting irresponsibly and abusing illicit drugs. What a shit show so far, right? Sounds like your typical path to destruction case. Well, we'll get to the good part on how Grant changed his life around momentarily. Before we do, though, please help us out by smashing that subscribe button and setting the bell notification to all. Join our family already so we can keep bringing you valuable content. Now, let's get to the good part. How Grant's life changed. The course of his life would eventually change because of one horrific incident, though. On a wet night, when Grant was making his way home, he was robbed at gunpoint. Cardone was brutally beaten with a handgun while attempting to repel the armed robber and was then left for dead. Cardone spent 3 days in the hospital and required more than 70 stitches. Then the worst happened. His mother cut him off completely, kicking him out of the house and having to check into a rehab center. This ultimately turned out to be the turning point in Cardone's life. He had hit rock bottom. Grant realized that he was now all alone when he had to check into rehab. It would be the place where he spent 30 days sober getting his life together. He then discovered that his drug usage was associated with his free time and a lack of productive activities. So to fix that, he had to withdraw from the company of drug addicts he associated with, as well as any other unpleasant influences he had established over the years. He had to focus and commit and that he did to sales, something he dreaded, by the way. Grant did attend university and studied accounting, but didn't like the profession very much. That and the fact that there was close to a 25% unemployment rate in Louisiana at the time, which didn't help his cause either. Even with a degree, there weren't many jobs available then, so Cardone had filed for unemployment instead, choosing the easy way out. Old habits die hard. Later, after age 25, Grant Cardone wasn't going to take shortcuts any longer. He devoted himself to sales, getting to work earlier than everyone else and being the last to leave. At this point, he'd remembered a valuable lesson his mother taught him. An investment in knowledge usually pays the best interest, and that was exactly what he did. Therefore, he started working on learning as much as he could about marketing, persuasion techniques, and the whole car sales business. Not long after, he landed a job and was making a living for the first time in his life. When his monthly income increased from $3,000 to $6,000, he realized he had mastered one of the most effective success strategies: applied knowledge. Cardone finally rose to the position of one of the nation's greatest automotive salesmen due to his efforts and investment in education. He refocused and immediately started to succeed. He had observed several illogical things when selling autos, areas where the sales procedure was either outdated or wholly unwelcoming to customers. So he started traveling and making sales pitches to every company that cared to listen about how they might be quicker, nicer, and more successful. He offered to sell those firms consultancy services in return for his complimentary pitch. Soon he was performing 250 speaking engagements annually while touring the whole nation until he eventually owned not one, but two multi-million-dollar sales consultancy companies, one of which was focused on the car sector and the other on enhancing any company in need of sales training. Cardone realized he needed to put his money into something after starting two profitable enterprises producing significant cash flow. He then began investigating real estate. Shortly after, at the age of 29, he made his first real estate investment in a single-family home, but trouble struck when his tenants abruptly left, losing a lot of money. He re-educated himself over and over again throughout the next 5 years and continued to keep on keeping on. By age 30, Cardone would make his first $1 million. By the time he was 34 years old, Grant felt confident enough to invest in a 38-unit San Diego apartment building. He paid a down payment of $350,000 for the $1.9 million apartment. The transaction went well, so he therefore kept putting his company's profit back into apartment buildings, reinvesting his wealth. 1 month later, he acquired his second apartment building. As his enterprises prospered, he continued to put his extra income into his real estate holdings more and more. Cardone's standing in the business would soar. However, he lost his job after trying to do the right thing by alerting a business owner of another salesperson who was stealing from him. Trust him, he didn't allow this setback to lower his zeal or drive, but instead made the decision never to rely on another person or business. To that end, he established his own sales consulting company and started aggressively promoting his sales techniques throughout the nation. Cardone quickly established himself as a self-made guy after that. His quest for more income streams grew, and he began to expand his reach by writing books and publishing online business programs. Now, he proudly owns one of the biggest business learning platforms in the world, with over 50 million registered users globally. The two online training programs for aspiring entrepreneurs and salespeople are Cardone University and Cardone On Demand. After that, he set up his very own social media advertising company called 10X Productions. Currently, Grant Cardone runs at least 7 different companies, but if we're being honest, we're not all confident about those numbers, as the man is involved in way too many businesses for us to be sure of an exact number figure. Best estimates are, though, in the $750 million net worth. His wealth comes partly from his ownership deal in Cardone Capital's $1.2 billion apartment complexes portfolio and earnings from the other presumed 7 companies. As you'd have imagined, he now lives in a luxurious life in his $8 million opulent condo with a breathtaking view in Miami, Florida. He also goes around looking all fly with his $50 million private jet, which he says he got in order to wipe out a large tax bill and afford more time. The lesson we've learned from the incredible rise of Grant Cardone is that success compounds, if you look at how he slowly and steadily worked his way to the top. Secondly, you don't have to be perfect or have a perfect beginning. Grant Cardone didn't have a job until he was 25 and battled addiction for 10 years. If he could make it, what's your excuse? And lastly, we should learn that success is about putting 10 times more action into your dreams and watching them actualize. Learn from mistakes and setbacks, and always believe in yourself and your given abilities. This now brings us to the end of this video. We hope you got some value out of it. Did some of his story resonate with you? What was the most important lesson you've learned? Let us know below. If you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell notification icon and share it with your friends and family. We hope to bring you more luxury-related content every week. Until next time, enjoy some of our other awesome content. Bye for now.